Hey there, I am Dex the Music Geek. There were many bands and artists that had very successful careers in the 80s and into the 90s, so successful that it seemed like they would be around forever. While the band may have consistently released new music, radio decided that they were past their expiration date. This caused a buried treasure of music yet to be discovered. Today, I will discuss how Pressure Off from Duran Duran should have been a hit. Before I start, anyone who personally knows me knows that I've loved Duran Duran since the very beginning, and I have remained a fan for 40 years now. I might be biased, but they've had several songs in their catalog that have been dismissed. And throughout this series, I plan to sporadically focus on those songs. However, this episode, the spotlight will be on 2015's Pressure Off. Like me, if you are a member of Gen X, you have absolutely heard of Duran Duran. From 1982 to 1983, they had 11 top 10 hits. They were one of the first bands to truly take advantage of the new marketing tool as music video. Their photogenic image and their slick, cool, stylistic videos made them a staple on MTV and Friday Night Videos. The lineup for the first three albums of Duran Duran was Simon Le Bon on vocals, Nick Rhodes on keyboards, John Taylor on bass, Roger Taylor on drums, and Andy Taylor on guitar. None of the Taylors are related. The relentless recording and touring from 81 to 84 took a toll on the band. Aside from the #1 James Bond theme, A View to a Kill, there was a small break from Duran Duran in 1985. But instead of some R&R, the band had two side projects, Arcadia with Simon, Nick, and Roger, and Power Station with John and Andy, who worked with Robert Palmer and Tony Thompson. This break caused more friction than relaxation and had led to only 3 of the 5 members returning to Duran Duran in 1986. While the lineup changed through the years, Simon, Nick, and John were the mainstays, with Andy and Roger returning for the reunion album Astronaut in 2004. After that album, Andy left the band again, but Roger remained. In its present formation, 4 of the 5 members are in the band. Throughout its career, Duran Duran has released 14 studio albums and 4 live albums. The most recent album was 2015's Paper Gods, which was its first top 10 album since 1993's self-titled Wedding album. But it quickly fell off the chart. But it could have stayed around a little longer because the lead single, Pressure Off, should have been a hit. Pressure Off was co-produced by 80s hitmaker Nile Rodgers, who had just won a Grammy for his work with Daft Punk's 2013's album, Random Access Memories, specifically the huge hit Get Lucky. Nile Rodgers had also worked in the past with Duran Duran on the single and club remixes of The Reflex, and he also produced the single Wild Boys and the album Notorious. To make the project even better, the awesome, hip, and cool singer Janelle Monáe was brought in to add her energy to the vocals. On paper, this should have been a guaranteed success, but when radio decides the band is no longer relevant, the song became a lost treasure. It never charted here in the US, and it hit only number 59 in Italy and number 72 in Belgium. Beginning with Simon telling the listeners start stepping out and jumping up to take the pressure off, the song goes into a groove that only John Taylor and Nile Rodgers can provide. Rodgers' drumming is solid and always reliable to provide a strong beat. Nick's keyboards provide splashes of color, while Simon insists we find ways to deal with the unnecessary stress and to get the pressure off. The song is so catchy that the oh-oh-ohs will be stuck in your head. Its positive message and its danceable vibe is so contagious that you will want to shake your booty throughout the song. As a fan of the band, I can honestly say 2015's Paper Gods was their strongest album since the Wedding album in 1993. It's a shame that radio and video airplay is based upon youth rather than good music. I mean, if Cher had a #1 hit with Believe when she was 52 years old, age doesn't have to play a part in airplay. Also, if bands like The Killers can get airplay when they're obviously influenced by Duran Duran, then the influential band should also get that same attention. Paper Gods was released in September of 2015. It's been a while since there's been some new music, however a new album is scheduled to come out later this year. Last month, as a tribute to the 5-year passing of David Bowie, Duran Duran covered his song 5 Years, and they managed to be true to the original while making it their own. If this is a taste of what's to come later this year, I am so eagerly awaiting this new album. Please check out Pressure Off from Duran Duran and the album Paper Gods. I think you'll be very impressed. Also, they've had 14 albums. Go and revisit their old and new material, and you'll see why they were one of the most successful and influential bands of the last 40 years. I hope you enjoyed this episode. Peace and love, and until next time, remember, without music, life would be a mistake. Take care.